Hello, I'm Tariq Reed coming to you from our newsroom here at Humber College North Campus. It's Friday, April 14th. Here's what's making news. It is finally spring, and what better way to kick off the season than with celebrating Earth Month? Humber's Office of Sustainability invited students and faculty to get their hands dirty in a hands-on workshop to learn more about gardening and Indigenous history. Megan Lee has more.
Students and faculty are getting their hands dirty today while learning about the importance of growing their own food in hopes of building sustainable habits. The event's guest speaker who was hosting the workshop was urban agriculturist Isaac Crosby. Crosby is a Black Ojibwe Humber alum who was invited to speak and educate students about gardening in the winter and about the history between Black and Indigenous peoples.
For people to learn about my culture is to learn that we were the ones who actually had hand in hand to take care of the Great Lakes. So for me, it's the reason why I always push native foods, native plants, so people know that in this area of the world, we have some of the most amazing vegetation and land out there.
The Humber Arboretum and Humber River have deep roots to Indigenous history. The river was an integral connection between the Indigenous peoples of Ontario's Lakeshore and the Lake Simcoe Georgian Bay region. Many students came out to learn and get some hands-on experience with gardening with the help of Crosby. Navneet Kaur, a Humber College student, was one of many.
I love gardening so much, and even my mom, and back home in India, she loves gardening. So I came here and I never did something like that, so I joined this event and I'm very happy that I joined it.
Food insecurity and inflation are real things that students are worried about. Crosby hopes students will start engaging in more sustainable habits. Instead of relying on grocery store produce, he encourages students to start growing their own food, starting with what they love. Humber News, Megan Lee.
Some changes are coming to Toronto's transit system as the TTC is reversing a major decision from January. Maria Castaigne reports.
Moving forward, TTC commuters will be seeing fewer police officers on their daily commute. Riders like Mohammed Sikander were thankful for the extra police presence, saying it made him feel safer.
It's much better. I didn't have that feeling before, but right now they travel with us. They are pretty much found in major stations, so it's much better that way.
And that was the intention of increasing the police presence in January with more than 80 additional officers. The program was in response to the surge of violent attacks that were taking place on the TTC earlier this year.
These deployments will focus on reducing victimization, preventing crimes of opportunity, and enhancing public safety.
But while some felt it was necessary to do something, transit advocates like Cameron say it was never going to work long term.
So I understand why it happened. It was always going to be short term. It was never a sustainable choice. It was never one that would actually solve root causes, as I mentioned. And pulling them away, it was always going to happen. So, I mean, better now than later.
Toronto police say the enhanced safety program provided more than 220 referrals to those in need of social assistance. Over 300 arrests were also made, including the seizure of a firearm at Pioneer Village subway station.
Toronto Police Service confirmed that there still will be officers patrolling the stations, platforms, buses, and subways moving forward and responding to emergency calls as needed. For Humber News, I'm Maria Castaigne.
Migrant workers and their supporters took to the streets in downtown Toronto to push for a permanent residency program. I had a chance to speak with some of them to learn what they are fighting for. These people want their voices to be heard, and they have a shared experience as undocumented workers in Canada.
We did not have immigration status. We did not have any rights. We did not have access to the public healthcare, education, or housing, or decent work.
For them, status for all is the only solution to end discrimination, exploitation, and even deportation newcomers face in Canada. In 2021, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau promised a regularization program that would give 500,000 migrants permanent residency in Canada. Today, many of those migrants are facing deportation and say this promise needs to be fulfilled.
There's only 10 weeks left in this parliament before it rises, and we cannot wait any longer. Every day of delay means abuse, exploitation, deportations, and deaths are continuing.
For migrants marching today, the status they are fighting for power, something they say Canadians take for granted.
So status means, generally, I think it's just freedom. It gives you access to everything you want to do. You want to go back to school, you want to do everything. With status, you can do it.
Advocates say they will continue to fight for fair and equal treatment in Canada. Speaking of workers, the controversial Amazon Labor Union president, Chris Smalls, took to the stage at York University and had a lot to say about the value of independence in the labor movement. James Westman has this report.
People in New York is dying every 15 minutes. New York City was the epicenter of the world.
Chris Smalls successfully organized the first Amazon warehouse in history in New York and formed the Amazon Labor Union. He spoke at York University for the opening of the Ontario Federation of Labor's Enough is Enough campaign. A winter storm was blasting through Toronto, but nonetheless the auditorium was packed on a Friday night. Smalls spoke about how he felt he was targeted for speaking out about policies that risk workers' safety as COVID ran rampant through New York at the beginning of the pandemic.
JFK, my building, employs 8,300 members. We come from all 5 boroughs, including New Jersey. So the virus is in the building already. Basically, they told me not to tell the workers, entry-level workers, that people were coming to work positive.
Smalls says he was fired for his activism.
Amazon tried to make an example out of me when they fired me.
Amazon executives, in a meeting with Bezos, disparaged Smalls as, quote, not smart or articulate, what many would describe as a racist trope.
From that moment forward, that's when I protested in front of every Jeff Bezos mansion across the country that we can find at least.
Smalls says it's not easy being an independent labor union.
I'm not going to recommend forming an independent because it's the hardest thing ever. As you can see, we're misfits. We are misfits as independents.
But he says it comes with benefits that affiliated unions lack.
We have the ultimate power because nobody can tell us what to do. We do what we want, when we want, how we want.
At the end of the talk, he called for an end to the billionaire class and had some choice words for Mr. Bezos.
Billionaires, they gotta go. Billionaires, they gotta go. Jeff Bezos. Thank you.
James Westman, Humber News.
With the summer term approaching, many international students are frustrated by unpaid internships as they affect their finances. Unpaid co-op internships are legal in Ontario, but students are calling it labor exploitation. Dorina Venersova has more.
International student Tobias Mihail starts each day by scrolling through employment websites in search for a summer internship.
We don't have so many paid internships. So I think for the paid internships, you have many people that want to apply, but you wait and you have no answer.
Ontario labor laws say unpaid internships associated with an academic course are legal, but many studies show that international students, racialized groups, and women are likely to be more engaged in unpaid work.
Well, we know that there's a greater preponderance of people who are at risk of exploitation. One of the ironies is that those most likely to be able to engage in unpaid internships are those at the upper end of the spectrum because they can afford not to work.
But that's not the case for many international students like Heta Kakhar studying journalism at Humber College.
I'm trying my best to find something paid, but I don't think so I can get. So I feel as an international student that is much more difficult for me to survive. So I have to do multiple jobs to get through my living and as well as do my unpaid internship.
The data shows that Ontario has the most international students across the country. This Canada inviting more immigrants in the heated race to find paid internships gets only tougher. I'm Dorina Venersova for Humber News.
High school students from across the country were on campus to showcase their skills in robot building. Reporter Mohammed Hamza shares this look at the first robotics competition.
Get ready for the ultimate battle of metal and machine at Humber College Athletics Center, where the best of the best is competing in the first robotics competition. Absolute Robotics, the Woodlands High School team, is currently competing but has struggled in the playoffs despite their diligent practice.
On the robot, we put in many laborious hours.
Absolute Robotics is playing 11 matches in first robotics competition and is currently losing 6 matches and 1 tie.
Many of us are quite emotional, including me, because of course we put so much effort into this.
Absolute Robotics finishes in 3rd place with a bronze medal in first robotics.
Our weak points was because we did not utilize all of the sensors that we had planned on using, and the camera, sensors and camera.
While being involved in preparations before the competition, Absolute Robotics was very hopeful and they did work on all areas to achieve their goal of winning.
Strategy is going to be to play it consistently. We're going to do a few things and do them well.
For this season, 28 teams are competing in the competition and all of them are competitive and skillful for winning the contest. Absolute Robotics has won 4 matches in the competition.
I'm actually really proud of the team. We learned a lot. So just it was a huge learning curve. We learned a lot. We know what to do, what not to do for the winter. So we're all set and I'm not bummed out at all.
By contesting with other teams in the Alliance, the students are learning technical skills extensively.
I saw rapid advancement in the understanding of how to do technological design and computer-aided design, how to manufacture, how to do coding, and how to run a business, how to do advanced planning and sustainability and succession planning.
Students that participate in the first robotics competition learn not only technological abilities but also how to support other competitors and the value of persistence, patience and teamwork. From Humber News, I am Mohammad Hamza.
COVID-19 has not only shaken the human world but also the animal world. A Toronto tattoo shop is doing their part to raise funds for animal rescue shelters. Sabrina Suse-Muthu has more.
Stormhouse Tattoo is hosting the New Collar Collective fundraiser where supporters are getting animal-themed tattoos to help rescues in need. Bee picked up a design that looked most like her own dog.
I hope that this brings awareness to them and that these organizations are out there, and I think that a lot of the people at the event, there are people that know New Collar Co and there's people that just know us. So it's really nice to bring those two communities together and to get people aware of what they do and then spreading the word. And then I think that becomes part of the story.
New Collar Collective is a nonprofit that supports abandoned, stray, abused, or surrendered pets requiring care and attention. New Collar Collective rescues animals across different countries and provinces. Around 700,000 animals are waiting to be adopted here in Canada right now.
I mean, we're always kind of in need of financial support and donations. That's how we operate. You know, our fosters don't have to buy anything. We supply them with crates, food, bedding, their leashes, harnesses, jackets for the poor dogs that come from Barbados in the middle of winter.
There is an endlessly long list of needs for animal rescues that changes day by day. The event sold out all their tickets with 24 tattoos done today. This is their first partnered fundraiser together and hope to continue their mission in the future and engage with the community at large. For Humber News, I'm Sabrina Suse-Muthu.
And moving outside, we've seen our first tease of summer this week. Andy Pozo joins us from Humber's backyard with what's in store for the next few days. Andy, how's the weather looking for us this weekend?
Thanks, Ty. I'm here at the Humber Arboretum where we're having some lovely sunny weather today. We saw Megan earlier talking about Earth Month in a sweater, but I don't think we're going to be needing a sweater today. Let's take a look at the 4-day forecast. We're going to be having some lovely sunny skies for the next couple of days. Today with a high of 26 and clear skies, and tonight with a low of 12. Tomorrow we'll keep that going, a high of 22 with clear sunny skies and a low of 11 at night. And then Sunday and Monday, the temperatures start to cool off a bit more. Sunday will have a high of 21 degrees with showers all day and a low of 7 at night. And Monday, proper April weather comes back with a high of 8 degrees and showers and a low of 2. That's what the 4-day forecast is looking like. It's going to be sunny for the next 2 days. Enjoy it while you can and wear your sunscreen. Back to you, Ty.
Thanks, Andy. And looking back a little bit, as the last snow melted, it was tapping time at the annual Maple Syrup Festival at Bruce's Mill Conservation Area. Humber News' Regan Goodale has this story.
Roller sapping here.
Demonstrations like this are a good chance to get behind the scenes of maple syrup making. It's fun for the parents and even better for the kids. Yeah?
It was very informative and a lot of fun for kids and adults alike, and it was worth the taste at the end too.
Maple syrup can be temperamental. The trickiest ingredient is the weather, which can be unpredictable.
Yeah, so we get our product from a local farm, an Ontario farm, and they were saying that they've been tapping earlier. So they were tapping in February, which, as I said, it's kind of a spring, March season. So they were tapping a bit earlier, but I think they did have a break just because it's very, dependent on the temperature. So they had a bit of a break, and right now, as you can see in the buckets, we've got a lot more sap, so they're probably tapping again.
The festival's been running for over 60 years, but maple syrup production has been around for a lot longer. Bruce's Mill celebrates the history behind the process. Even a little snow hasn't stopped people from coming to celebrate a Canadian favorite. This festival runs till April 1st. Regan Goodale, Humber News.
Humber students are at the end of the semester when exams and assignments are piling up. Percy, the campus therapy dog, is here to provide on-site mental health support for students. Nicole Fernandez has more.
Meet Percy, the therapy dog. His workplace today is the Learning Commons. He's giving a little love and support to stressed out students.
Can you spin?
And show off some cool tricks. A student even sneaks out of class just to see Percy.
He's just so sweet, like he loves me, he's so calm, and just meeting him, I look forward to this every week. Like, he just makes me so happy.
Anya, the Learning Commons staff, knows exactly how difficult the semester can be for students.
I think a lot of people come to school and all they can think about is school, so having something totally outside of the realm of homework or studying or exams, it just kind of breaks up your thoughts in your day, and it just brings a little bit of joy and happiness and makes you rethink a lot of things and can help you get through the rest of your day.
For all Percy fans, she's distributing Percy badge pins so students can have a piece of him wherever they go. Melanie, Percy's best friend and owner, is a professor at Humber's paralegal program.
He's always just been very calm. And even when he was a puppy, everybody would always tell me how calm he was for a puppy. Students just love having him there, right? They pet him during the breaks, and they all want to be his friends. They hang out with him. He just brightens people's days. I know.
Percy is always here on campus to provide a friendly and comforting presence for students. Bye Percy, see you again next week.
That's all for today. I'm Tariq Reed. Humber News is written and produced by students in the journalism program. For more coverage, visit our website, humbernews.ca, and follow us on Twitter at HumberJRNL. We'll see you again next time.